Well, hello racing fans, and welcome to On the Line with trainer Justin Snaith. Of course, Justin at the top of the trainer's log, a position that he's very familiar with. I've lost count on how many times he's won the trainer's title, but I can tell you in the last 5 years he's won it four times. And he's got a big day on Saturday, the 25th of January. Before we chat about his runners to come, we thank him for his time. It's a busy week for Justin. He's got 38 runners on Met Day. Justin, another wonderful season thus far, and thanks for your time.
Yeah, Deez, I think it's thank you for the listeners for tuning in. I think it's a big season. I've taken a bit of criticism in the last few years that I've been substandard. I have a tough family that think we can do better. So it's all the encouragement I needed. So I've decided this season to have a full go, and it's certainly one of the better starts to our seasons that we've had in many years. So I just hope we can push it through to Met Day, which I've looked at the card already, and it's going to be one of those days that could be memorable, or it could be one of those days that I don't want to ever remember again. So let's hope it's the positive side.
Well, it's 38 runners, Justin, at the time of recording, and I will tell you that you are close to 12 million, and your nearest rival on the trainer's log is 5.5 million behind. So you mentioned a tremendous start to the season, and yes, it was. Justin, just to kick things off, race number 1 in that juvenile stakes over 1,100 meters, you got 3 runners. There's money for number 3, Claire de Lune, from 7 to 2 and 18 to 10. Is she possibly the right filly of your 3?
Look, my jockeys were all jumping ship. Interestingly, this is the first interview I've done, so you guys have done well. You're the only operator that seem to want to listen to me, so I appreciate that.
No, thanks for your time. Yeah, the filly in the first, Claire de Lune, is she the right one?
Look, it's a hard one. I've gone big here. These jocks are all jumping ships. They all got bosses they have to ride for. So I thought, well, if you're not going to ride for me, I'm going to make it as tough as possible. So I've stuck all my fillies in. Deez, to be honest, all 3 can run. Take nothing away from any of them. Any one of them could pop up. The Wild Green's gallop into the race was of the highest level. She's a very aggressive filly in a finish. And I've got a funny feeling she's going to fight off anything that comes. Claire de Lune, his last run was very impressive. She's getting very close to winning. She's my world. Work at Home is probably the best of the 3, but she did get beat first time out, but she was very underdone. She's going to come on a lot, and I tell you, all 3 are gonna be right there. They tough, impressive little fillies, and I'll make it as hard as possible for the other guys in the race.
Race number 2 is the Mallorca. It's a Group 1, and I must compliment you. I've seen a race as a young horse, and I've seen a race this season, but I must compliment you, and of course the filly, on how she's just blossomed into this tremendous 4-year-old.
Look, she was very unlucky in the Natal season. Make no mistake at Greyville. You'll remember with Raskova up against the fence, and then in the Garden Province, she got taken out in the straight. So it was always a hard pill to swallow. And I'm just very proud of this filly. She gives me goosebumps because there's not a lot there. She's just got a heart there that we're now seeing what she's capable of, but I think it's going to be the same thing again, fighting off Raskova. She's in a great space, and I really touchwood couldn't have it better, and I hope again she shows what she's about.
She's got 5 lanes to make up as the pace completely falls away, and Red Palace ended up in front. Raskova the inside, double Grand Slam chasing down. So too is Rainbow Lorikeet. Then came Sarkiu's next best. Red Palace under the outside, but now double Grand Slam came alive, and double Grand Slam charged away in the Cartier Paddock Stakes. Double Grand Slam, much too good.
In race number 3, you got 2 runners. Number 1, Give Me Pearl, and of course number 4, Lickety Split. If you had to play a place accumulator, of your 2, would you be including both, or can you choose one of the 2?
No, I think Lickety Split at the weight will have a lot to do. She's in good form. There are some fillies here that I think Saatchi last time pulled a shoe in a race. So if that comes back to form, I think she's going to be a very hard filly to beat Saatchi. Then obviously respect to Candice's filly. My filly, Give Me That Pearl, she's got to get the distance first. So she's a complete and I'd say hit or miss. If she gets to 2,000, I think she'll run a big race.
Race number 4, Justin, kicks off the carryover pick 6, 2,800 meters. You got 2 nice runners here. Number 1, Mucho Dinero, and 7, Triple Time.
Triple Time is doing really well at home. You just need to go back and watch his previous run where he was very unlucky. Mucho Dinero, the dark horse of the race for me. He's had a lot of issues since his Natal season. It's taken me a long time to get him back to soundness. I do think I got him at his best, and you can expect an improved run.
Okay, in the 5th race, Justin, just maybe your fancy of your 4 runners between number 2, Lightning Glow, number 4, Makazolo, 6, The Grey King. You got 9 and you got 10. Sorry, you got 5 runners there, Justin. Do you have a fancy or a preference?
I do like the low weight, let it be said. I think at the weights, I think he'll run a very good creditable race. I thought last time he did nothing wrong, just got caught on the line. So certainly, let it be said, with 52 on his back. And the others are, the Grey King. I do think Eric Sanders was drawn 1, has got the form, and is a horse that I'm possibly going to have to beat. At the Grey King, if he doesn't behave too badly, is always a horse that you can respect. I'll probably be a little bit more confident if it's over a mile, but certainly the others will have their work cut out. Makazoli, I think, is one to follow and one to keep an eye on. Just a 3-year-old running off 106 or 108, whatever it is, never an easy task, but he is a horse that if you're going wide, you might have to put him in.
Well, that's a nice outsider there for the guys that are listening. In race number 6, you got I'm So Pretty, 10-1. Number 8, that's number 7. Number 8 at 6-1, Summer Lily. 11, Sidley at 12-1. It's the betting paints a picture here, Justin. It looks very tricky.
It is a very tricky race, but look at the ratings and look at the races the horses have been running in. All of them have been running in races where they've been, not well off in the handicapping terms. They've been running in weight for age races, not getting quite the weight they normally would get. I do think Summer Lily and Sidley are 2 fillies that are of listed stakes level and could win a race of this nature. Obviously, there's a lot of respect to some of the other tough fillies, but I do think my 2 fillies here could run a really creditable race. I'm So Pretty as a young horse with a low weight. I just don't know if she is up to this type of level race, but this race will point us in the right direction. So I like my fillies here. I think they're suited to this type of race.
A welcome break for you, race number 7, as we head into the main event, which is race number 8, the WSB Cape Met. Grade 1, 2 million rand estimated quartet pool with a carryover of 500,000. I think the floor is yours here, Justin, with regards to preparation and your thoughts with your older horses, and of course the 3-year-old that's priced up at the top of the boards, number 10, 8 on 18.
Look, Deez, I've ruined a few 3-year-olds running them in the Met, I'm not going to lie. It's a very tough race at a certain time of the year for a young horse to take on older horses over this distance. But you get the feeling that the Met is just not... There's not a older horse with great form and looks hard to beat. I thought Mace's horse last time was very unlucky. He took some nasty bumps in the King's Plate, and he was almost taken out. And I do think he could make a comeback if Mace gets him right. I do think my hard-knocking horse is Royal Aussie a little bit suspect over the distance, but he's as game as they come. And last time out, we're just over-raced in the Mets, and this year, if he settles, Cabello knows him better. Could expect him to be, maybe into the quartets. Magic Verse, everyone's telling me, is the dark horse and the one that could upset everybody and come at the longest odds, and that he would be Greg Bortz's first horse home. So I'm hoping they're right.
Sure.
So I'm hoping, he is well out at the weights, and you could expect probably a nice run from him. But you would think some of the other horses would be stronger. But the 3-year-old is very good. Deez, he's a very smart individual. He's a horse that could run a big race here. There's plenty gears there. I've not gotten close to the bottom of him in the Guineas. He was just, I couldn't get him as sharp as, let's say, One Stripe was. We had to make up endless ground in the straight. And you got to know that he's come on from that, and he's had a gallop. So, you give him a lot of respect. Pakaya, huge run last time, surprising run. I don't even think Craig Zaki was expecting it. So we thought on the basis of that run, we'll give him a chance here.
Purple and white, then came Without Question and Triple Time. Needs a bit of luck in running towards the final 200 metres. They go. Rascallion matched by Magic Verse. Up the inside is Litigation. They followed further back by Otto Luke and Magic Verse with a narrow lead. Litigation, Rascallion, Try Hard. Magic Verse all out. Rascallion likewise. Here's the line tight. Then came Litigation towards the inside, and next best was Future Swing.
Future Swing, many are tipping a horse like Rascallion to win. If that's the case, I'd like to be with this horse, number 4, Future Swing.
On the last run, Rascallion can't beat Future Swing. Future Swing was hugely unlucky. Just never got the runs when he needed. And to be honest, you just got to go watch that race. On the base and the draw. I'm nervous of the draw with Rascallion. I thought it just may not help him. And I really believe that Future Swing's got him beat on their last start. Grant Vinicak hasn't been sighted in 2 months, so he's coming to the race course fresh. So, and he's a type of jockey that when you count him out, he can always show up and cause an upset. There's no jockey that can cause an upset quicker than Grant Vinicak. So the best thing is I haven't seen him in 2 months, which is the best thing for our relationship.
Sure. Race number 9, where we close off that pick 6, and it's going to be a big pool, 10 million, is the Politician Stakes, Group 3. Here you've got plenty runners. You've got number 1, Dawn Till Dusk. You have number 3, Express Yourself, 9, Regulation, 10, Native Ruler, and you got number 12, Sail the Seas, Justin. You look to have a very strong hand here.
Obviously, with 8 on 18 running in the main race, it does open up this race a little bit. And some people might look at it and say, "Oh, this is not a strong field." But trust me, go look at the pedigrees and look at the bill for some of the purchases of these horses in this race. They're all under the radar. Some haven't had their full opportunity to prove how good they are, and I can assure you, this is a tough field. There's the horse that galloped the house down into this race, the horse called Regulation, and Richard jumped off everything to ride him. So I give respect to that and the decision that Richard got off. He thought giving Sail the Sea, giving weight all around. He took a big jump in the ratings last time. Might just cost him this race. And also the little bit of the wide draw. So Sail the Sea for me is the right horse, but has been given a task of the weight and the draw, which obviously is going to play a part in evening this field out. My other horses are they're going to have to raise their game to win this race, make no mistake. But as I said, there is quite a lot of confidence from Richard on Regulation.
We just want to close things off quickly. I know you're in a hurry, and we again thank you for your time. But just short comments: races 10, 11, and 12. In race number 10, over 1,400 meters. When I had a look at your runners, and I want to try and push you in a corner here, between 5, Legal Counsel, 7, Unicorn Alert, 10, Please Be True, and 11, who is Muzieni's mount. I thought that this could be a clear standout of your 4. Number 10, Please Be True, Justin.
As I said, go look at the last run. Another horse, as I said, the track has been narrowed. There were a couple horses unlucky. Go watch this horse's last run. If you're one of those guys that likes to go look at their previous runs and work it out, go look at this horse's last run, and you'll be betting on him. He was unfortunate on King's Plate Day. He's a lovely horse. He's coming along the right way. Certainly the horse to beat in this race. Do give a little bit of respect to Unicorn Alert, because he's just a type of horse that could just pop up. So if you're looking for another horse for the quartets and trifectas, Unicorn Alert could be that horse. Legal Counsel, the draw will help him. That's his biggest asset. Last time was a bit disappointing, but I think it does point to Please Be True.
Okay, race 11, 3 runners here. Number 8, Rabbadash. You got number 12, Get Impressed. And then number 13, Snow Pilot. He's shortened in the betting, Justin. He's now trading at 13 to 10 from 15 to 10. And I think you found the plum race for him over the 7 furlong trip.
Yeah, look, last time we were a little bit unfortunate in the King's Plate. He took a hold at the 1,000 and ran away with Richard. Richard just said he couldn't hold him, which is unfortunate. It's the way he races. So sometimes you're going to get it right, sometimes you're going to get it wrong. Unfortunately, the horse didn't want to know anything about it. He'd been revved up in the race, and there was just no stopping him. So unfortunately, compounded the last bit, and then they took him out in the finish, which cost him 4th. Doing well at home, back to a 7th furlong. At the conditions of this race, he's the horse to beat, make no mistake. They all got to beat him, and hopefully it goes his way, and he wins the race that he deserves to win. So I do think Get Impressed is a horse that you also saw him win on Hollywoodbets Durbanville July Day evening. He is a horse that can run a smart race, so you give him a little bit of respect. If you're looking to get the favourite beat, he's a horse that you put in. And Rapidash on the big occasions can pop up as well. Probably better over a mile, but he's a horse that you could possibly pop up. And then obviously the 3-year-old all out for 6, but I think he's going to have his work cut out here.
Okay, and then we close things off in the 12th race, Justin, with 2 Tough Terrain, 5 African Prince, 6 Unbel D, and you got one more runner there, yep, number 12, Scottish Kiss. I don't know what the mood is like in the Snaith camp going into the 12th plate, but hopefully it's a good one, and you've had your fair share of winners. How can we close things off with your runners?
Deez, this is a very interesting race for me. I've got, whereas the other races, I think there's sort of horses that I prefer more, and horses that I think might not suit the day. It's a big day, a lot of people. This race, these horses have all had their issues. Like Umbaldi's come back from a wind up. He came back, his first run, he ran 3rd. You've got to think he's better than that. And that for me is always a big thing. If a wind up works on a horse with Pierce Stradom on, could run a bigger. I know I think Candace got a nice horse in this race, but I think it's dropping down in distance. So Scottish Kiss bombed home last in its maiden. I give that because Tough Terrain last time also never saw daylight on King's Plate Day, got taken out in the finish. You got to respect that. This is a very tough one for the quartets. I'd love to think I'd tell this one's going to run first, that one's going to run 2nd, 3rd. But this race is a minefield. And I actually think there's a very good chance I can win this race. I think a horse like Tough Terrain you've got to respect. But Unbaldi is another one that could easily pop up. As I said, my horses are better than their form suggests. Yeah, be careful in this last. If it's in PAs and stuff like that, be careful. And quartets, just look carefully. This race could pay rockets. Yeah.
Justin, I know that I've moved the goalposts when it comes to what we're supposed to do. We're just going to touch on the feature races.
You've never done what you're supposed to do. I've seen you play golf. You arrive at the course with a 20 handicap and you shoot 5 over. So, Deez, I'm used to it.
No, but we thank you. We're only supposed to just touch on the feature races, but I swear Justin to please give us comments because he's got, as I mentioned, 38 runners at the time of recording.
Deez, if you didn't have the best listeners, the best racing public in the town, the ones that have been there for generations, yes. For them, anything is. I'll do anything for them.
Well, those are kind words, Justin. And we wish you all the best on the day. Just from the Snaith camp, I know it's a long day with a lot of horses.
Now you're pushing again.
With a lot of horses in the respective races. If there's one race, if there's one race that you're confident that you could win, and if you got multiple horses, which horse would it be, Justin, for the guys?
Yeah, I'll probably be 8 and 18. If you say it like that, then probably 8 and 18.
Well, we thank you for your time, Justin. It's busy for you, and we wish your team all the best. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Chat later.
Yeah, always a pleasure chatting to Justin Snaith. And I mentioned, he's on the run. He's really on the run, and he's given us some of his time, and we thank him for that. I don't know if we're doing it throughout the show, but really, the man is busy. Beside the race meeting and prepping his horses, etc., it's all about sales and owners and everything that's happening in that part of the world this time of the year. But we thank him for his time. And that's it, racing fans. You got it all from the Snaith camp on Met Day, the 25th of January, where there's lots to play for with regards to carryovers, etc. And to you, the valid racing fan, hopefully it turns out to be a wonderful day for you. Until we meet, which will be on Met Day, you take care. Salani Kahle.